And here we are again. Hello, hello. I'm Fernanda, teacher at the Rose Meditation, and I have here with me again Nuno, that's also teacher at the Rose Meditation. Hi, Nuno, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very, very good. Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
And again, we have a very interesting subject. It's actually a question. Is our limit physical or mental? Because a lot of times we think and we say, oh, I cannot do that, I cannot do this. And especially in the kind of training that we do in our classes, the most ancient way to train classes, that it's not that kind of explosion exercise, but it's more like a conscious exercise with a lot of permanence, no repetition, and this kind of thing that we are working together in our body and our mind, and they are always negotiating what the limits are, what the limit is today, how we can manage that. And this is what we are going to go a little bit deeper
Perfect.
in the subject. So, do you have any example of this?
I do have, yes. I always like to teach this concept of limits that we have in our classes when giving classes, that we want to get closer to what we think is our limit, and then we want to push forward that previous definition of limit.
Okay.
That's what I think it's a very interesting way of doing. For example, if I do a stretch waking up in the morning, as you know, if I repeat, it doesn't work.
No.
Stretching up early in the morning, I felt so good, let's do it again. It doesn't work. But if you stretch and you feel pleasure stretching and you say, let me continue a little bit more, let me expand this stretching for a few seconds more, I can, and it's pleasant. So if I bring that example into our classes, that's exactly what we do. We stretch and we push our stretch a little bit forward in the permanence. We don't repeat, we do it just once with that attitude. Flexibility, the same. I assemble a one position, body position, to stretch, to work the flexibility. And when we feel like, oh, my muscles are too hard, I don't feel that I'm a flexible person, that's just a mental limitation. We're going there with breathing, with awareness, to unlock that mental limit and say you can go way more than you expect. Same with strength. If one person says, oh, 5 minutes permanence, as you know, I did last year in many of my classes a progression up to 5 minutes in December. And a lot of people that did the 5 minutes in December, they share with me, Nuno, in September when we started, I could never imagine that was possible.
We're talking about the plank position.
Plank position, yes. Plank position for 5 minutes. It was 2 minutes in September, and adding 1 minute a month, which is doable. Almost sweet.
Light, soft, a soft evolution.
Yes. And so many people were able to accomplish that big goal of 5 minutes holding a plank, that they share with me, no, I couldn't believe if you told me that in September I'll be able to do it for 5 minutes. I said, no way.
Yeah.
And now here I am doing it. And it's so much of a mental block, but using the right techniques to work with your thoughts, you can do so many amazing things.
Of course. And I'm going to explain a little bit deeper how it happens, because when we are doing anything that's uncomfortable for us, our brain lights the red light. I don't want to do that. Danger, 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 because it's uncomfortable. And we have this life instinct, like the limbic brain. So we are saying, no, this is dangerous. I quit, because it's uncomfortable. And we are always running from the uncomfortable. But if you are there and you say, okay, I am safe, I'm in a safe environment. I'm gonna tell my body that everything is okay. So I am going to do some deep inhalations and exhalations. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna relax the parts of my body that are not being used in this exercise. So I'm also saving energy.
Mm-hmm.
So then in this situation, you're going to send to your body, even though it's a little bit uncomfortable, I'm in control. Everything is okay.
Mm-hmm. It's manageable.
I'm smiling, I'm relaxing. So the parasympathetic system starts to work. The cortisol levels start to go down and everything is okay. Mm-hmm. So you will be able to stay longer.
Yeah.
So if you work with those additional techniques, you can stay longer. Mm. But if you are talking to yourself and saying, what am I doing here? It's hurting so much. Of course, I'm not going to be able to stay 5 minutes. Oh my God, are you going to? Oh no, I'm going to quit. I was not born to do this. And you know what? I have so many things to do after my class. You're going to give up.
Yeah.
But if you say, okay, no, I'm here. I am going to overcome my limits. I'm engaged in this exercise, impressingly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember the word. You are going to understand that not just your physical limits are going to be increased, not just your muscles are going to get stronger, but your capacity to deal with stressful situations, like your resiliency, when you need it in your real life, you are going to have more resilience because your brain is trained to not react as everything is a dangerous situation, everything is a life or death situation. No, you are going to be able to manage better this kind of situation because your brain, this path in your brain is going to be strengthened. Mm-hmm. So you are going to breathe slower, you're going to relax, to think better, and not to overreact. So if you are inside your practice and you are working on your limits, don't think it's just a physical limit because it's not.
Yeah.
It's a mental limit. And if you bring your limit a little bit further every day and every class, this is going to be a huge impact in your daily life. I think you want to say something.
Yeah, the thing is, if we consider our classes as a lab when we do experiments and we do mental workouts, all the accomplishments that happen there, they can be transposed to real life. How many students said to me, no, if I can do the headstand, being upside down, I can do anything in my life. That's funny. That's funny, but it has a lot of interesting information there that the self-confidence then suddenly changes. Saying, come on, months ago everything was difficult in the class and now I can do amazing things. What is a job interview? What is writing an essay for my PhD? Whatever. See, you kind of surpass your limits in such an profound way that suddenly it unlocks so many other possibilities in life.
That's amazing.
And that's so crazy. And that's not like a straight line. You're going to do a plank and then you're going to apply for a job. It's not like that. It is how you are mentally active during the class, listening to the details, applying the details, having that internal conversation.
That's so important.
And then suddenly you know more about yourself at the end of the class. And then you do 2 classes a week. So that means you have 2 insights about yourself. So if you know more about yourself, your self-confidence changes. And so you're more capable of doing things. You know that you are more, you can do more because of those accomplishments. And as I said, it's not a straight line, it's not an action reaction. You do this to do that. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
The only direct way of teaching that is be present, use the resources that you have, and it's going to work. How? Because you're being present, because you're using all of that. Okay. For example, you were mentioning on the previous podcast in Portuguese about when I teach in class to relax the tongue.
Yeah.
It is a funny thing that I use because for flexibility, it is important to relax the muscles. That's how we teach flexibility. But then people are so obsessed of touching the forehead on the knee, for example, or something.
True.
And we see that
a lot.
But I'm not going to say you're doing it wrong. I don't like to say you're doing something wrong. But if I encourage that person to check your tongue, is it relaxed? It just unlocks so many things. And that student, that practitioner, will be more equipped to learn about that mouth reaction under stress and being able to relax and to gain more flexibility than just saying you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. That he's gonna do like this.
Yeah.
I'm always wrong.
Yeah. And another interesting of this mental workout that happens mostly during the body techniques is reaffirming that the position is hard or it's difficult. I always like to correct that, because if you do, you can do that. You are just reinforcing that every time you come back to this exercise, it's going to be harder and harder and harder and harder. It never goes away. But if you change your mentalization to something positive, boom, it just opens endless possibilities of improving that position. And that same openness can be transposed to real life. And so I'm filling my taxes. Of course it's hard. It's boring. It's difficult. We are always afraid of missing something. And just think about, it is what it is. If I finish this early, I can go out for a coffee with you. So let's do this. Focus, do your tax return, just send it to the accountant and go have a coffee.
Exactly.
Okay, don't focus on being difficult or being hard. That is something that I really encourage people to shift on their mindset when doing a class, one of ours, even when working out, even when doing an exam. Don't focus on being hard. Focus on the end result.
Yeah, of course. And it's interesting to observe people starting to do this kind of practice. We're going to notice that one of the fast consequences, it's the gain of self-esteem. And how your physical back posture changes in the very first classes, because it doesn't make sense to learn to sit correctly, but then I'm outside my class and then I'm gonna sit with my back. No, if you learn how to sit properly, you're gonna bring it to your life. And this reminds me of the subject of the power poses.
Yeah,
right?
Love that subject.
You wanna go with it?
Yeah. we can encourage people to watch Amy Cuddy TED Talk about power poses, which is a very interesting demonstration of how it works. But mostly, if you are in an upright position with the chest open, looking forward, you are giving instructions for your brain to lower the cortisol, and so you are be able to deal with stress better. And your testosterone will rise. That means the good things about your personality will rise as well. And with that, if you apply that to physical exercise or to your routine, it just has a massive change. I always remember when Steve Jobs would enter the stage to present like the new iPhone, the first iPhone. His physical posture entering the stage, so proud of that accomplishment. It is on my memory because it is so strong. He was like so proud and not afraid of failing. He just entered with the right posture, chest open, smiling, and the origin of the smartphones showed up.
It's like the image of the beginning of the Lion King when they say, "We have a baby."
Yeah. That kind of thing. And that changes a lot the way that when you enter to give a lecture or to go for a job interview or to even to have a hard conversation. We talk about having hard, difficult conversations here on our podcast. How the posture, meaning how you sit, how you stand, the level of your chin. Are you looking forward? Are you looking downwards? All these details are sending really important information to your audience. It can be just one person, or it can be an auditorium, for example, or in a meeting room.
Yes.
And because of the way that we train the physical part of our class, is very aligned to those power poses.
It is.
We like to hold like balance in one leg, but still looking forward, chest open, having that kind of positive attitude, smiling, and so many details. They are so aligned with the way that we teach. And then if you go online and search other methods or even if you compare it to other branches of yoga, it is so damn so different. Looking down to the floor, that serious facial expression, bending forward, many things looking down, and is not, at least for me, attractive in a way that, come on, if I'm going to a job interview and they check my Instagram, they want to see me in the same attitude, not like a pretzel looking down, or a photo of me performing asana in an open chest performance. And so that kind of alignment or that kind of detail is so specific to our class. When we check photos of I'm searching for a photo for one position, you know when it's one of ours.
Yeah.
Smile, where you're looking at.
Yeah.
So many things about the attitude, the angle, and that is so ours, so unique and so ancestral in a way. Of being able to continue to do that even 5,000 years later.
Exactly. Yeah. And I always remember that story that Professor DeRose tells in his classes. Before he started doing his practices, he was always like with the shoulders down, the back bended, and looking to the floor. Then he started to do his practices, and this happens to a lot of us. It happened to me as well. And he started to look to the world. He found out that the world was way more than dog poop, because he was always looking at the floor,
the sidewalk.
and a lot of dog poop. And then he put his back straight, he opened his chest, and could look, you imagine Rio more than 60 years ago, sunny, a lot of trees, a lot of birds and beach and beautiful people, smiling people, and he was losing everything because he was looking down.
Yeah.
So this is very visual. One of the first, I wouldn't say the most important, but one of the first effects of our practice is to be able to look to the world, to see people, to look ahead, to have a broader view of the world, right?
Yeah, I agree. Even though I was trained as an architect, so I have this cheek of looking up to the buildings. But I have to admit, it took me years to readjust my posture playing the guitar. Because the guitar, it is an instrument because it stands on your shoulders, on one shoulder actually. And you kind of need to play the guitar, you kind of need to make that curve forward, which I don't like and I don't feel comfortable. And it took me years changing sometimes the instrument in a way that I can feel more comfortable standing with the guitar and without the guitar, kind of the same way. And for the music scene, for me, for my musician life, that's where I notice a huge change. You see the pictures early with my band, I was still pushing the shoulders forward, and now I don't.
Cool.
And it was a lot of reorganizing my body awareness, so I'm now able to play the guitar and keep my posture.
Nice.
That's really important for me.
And that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, no. So I think the message is there. We already said everything we had to today. But I want to leave an invitation here. Don't trust us. Don't think, yeah, they said that. That's cool. No, come. We have a 14 days free trial in our platform. The link is here. The link is in Instagram, or send me a message, send us an email, find us, and you'll be able to do 14 days free trial. No credit card required, anything. You can do 30 minutes classes, 1 hour classes. So yes, I want to see you there. Come to try our classes.
Yes, you're invited.
I'm not going to say 100% chance that you're going to like, but there's a big chance that you're going to like. And if you do it, it's going to change your life forever. So I wait to see you.
Yeah. What I would say is, if you're able to hold this podcast till the end, probably this content resonated with you. So there's a big chance of joining the online classes and enjoying the full experience for 14 days. Until you give it a try, okay? Yeah. See if it's a match for you. If so, you'll be more than welcome to join our classes regularly.
Exactly. See you there and have a mindful week.
Yay! Bye-bye.